Hi everyone! Happy day, oh my goodness, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, day 7 of the ABCs. It is so nice to hop on relatively on time. So just want to welcome you to day 7. I'm Charisse from Pieces Calligraphy, and we will be going over how to create the letter G. We'll do I like doing lowercase first, and then we'll do uppercase. And by special request, we'll do a couple of variations. Here's a little sneak peek that I have as my cheat sheet on the side. So if you're new to the challenge, you can definitely check it out down below. I'm going to skip right into the demo and the strokes just so we can get as much into our time together. So remember to keep tagging your work on Instagram. I'm super excited to check out your work. And let's go ahead and dive right in. So thanks so much again to those of you in the live chat. I'm starting to see familiar faces. It's really fun. So this is like a season or it's like a school year and we're all in the same class or something. Okay, so let's go ahead and do lowercase g. Now, you guys are all familiar with the entrance stroke that we have here. And with this entrance stroke, I'm going to stop halfway. I'm not going to go all the way up to the waistline because I'm connecting to a curved stroke. Okay. Then I'm going to do my oval. Pressure on the left, hairline for the rest of the stroke. And this is a pretty flexible pen, so it's kind of hard to get that really hairline. And also because I'm going so slow, it's a little harder for me to control the tip as well. And then you have your descending stem loop, and then you have your exit stroke. So we're a couple of strokes that we have going on here. So remember to keep all of those shades on the slant line. Okay, oops. We want to make sure that we are keeping that on the slant line there, okay? And then when we put that all together, it looks like this. So entrance stroke, oval, descending stem loop, exit stroke. That's your basic letter G. You can get fancy, you can get modern. I'll just kind of show you a few examples here. So you could play around with the descender there. You can play around with the shape of your oval. I like doing sort of a edgy look sometimes to my ovals. Instead of being totally oval shaped, I'll pinch it or have like a little bit of an edge to it. Okay, and then your uppercase G. Now this gets a little tricky. Just for starters, keep in mind that you want to get a good hang of just your standard oval, okay? So if this is my oval shape, that just helps you to get used to where to apply your pressure, keeping your strokes so that the inside here is pretty even, okay? You don't want it to be too thin or too wide or too circular. You really want an oval. You can even take this as far as to imagine two smaller circles that are stacked at this slant. I'm just going to use all the colors here. Okay, so see how if I skewer this here, well, it's not totally perfectly on the slant, but the idea is that the shade is just on the left side of your slant line, and then the rest of that stroke is a hairline. Okay, so that's just a little bit of a review on the oval. I do have a basic stroke series that I'll put a card in the corner. I'm working on putting those cards. So hopefully you can find that if you want to go more into the basic strokes. Now let's translate this into the letter G. Okay, we're going to make this a little bit smaller. We're not going to quite do it this large. And I like practicing first with an actual oval and then practicing adding the bottom portion of the G. Now this looks a little funky, Okay, so let's add more to this. So the kind of standard copperplate G actually opens up with an entrance here. Okay, and I'm sorry if I lost you, but just stick with me. So here's our entrance stroke. Then you're going to do an oval, but you're actually going to stop. So I'm going to put some dots here just to give you a visual of what that rest of that stroke would look like. Then you're going to come in and do the stem of that G here. So can you imagine if we put all of those together, it would look like this. So entrance and then into my oval, and then finish with my stem here. Okay. So I would like to do that again. let's do that one more time. So entrance here. Remembering to apply that pressure only when we're on that down stroke. Okay, so if we were to troubleshoot and critique this G here, there's my shade. Here's my shade. Okay, and then you want to keep that oval shape. If I were to finish this oval, okay, do you see that here? And then oval shape is here, ovals here, ovals everywhere. So just keeping with the oval look. Now I just wrote all over my G. All right. Let's do a couple of variations. So I have here just basically adding a little bit of a flourish to the tail of the G. And I feel like that's where I was having the most fun. So I would bring this out here. And you know, I should have made this a little bit lower to make room for letters up here. Let's do that one more time. Okay, so if I bring my G out here, I could start writing someone's name. So let's do Gertrude because I got that as a request or suggestion, I should say. And this is a good one because there aren't any other descenders in this name. So the descender that I flourished was able to kind of stand on its own here by itself. And then I'll just go ahead and do some of these samples. So I saved here, this is where I asked on Instagram what names people wanted to share. Okay, so remember, follow me on Instagram or just take a look at my stories because I do a little call for names every day. Let's do Gerald. This is, I think, Lisa's father-in-law's birthday. So this is a totally different G, but I really like this version. And I also find it easier to connect from this version. Okay. Okay, let me scroll a little bit. Oh, I always love this name. And 2 people, look, I'm not making this up. 2 people have it in a row, Giselle. Okay, let's do you guys have any questions about the letter G or any letters that we've done so far? Kind of experimented with this version because I've seen this on other letters here. And I could have also stopped and then not added this connection here. I could have left that one out. Okay. Okay. Whoops. Sorry guys, I was kind of adjusting stuff on my end. Okay, let me try to squeeze in a short name here. Oh, Gia, perfect. Okay. And I purposely added some shade to this loop here, but I realize you don't want to make it too thick because it kind of is hard to read this G. I feel like kind of want to keep it not as heavy. Okay. What do you guys think? Now that I'm looking at this G, kind of, I don't know, something's a little off about it. Maybe I don't want it so high. Let's do that again. Another name here. Let's do one with a descender, Grayson. Okay, cool. Let's see if I don't do that too high. Bring it down a little bit lower. Maybe it'll be a bit more readable. Okay, yeah, I think we should keep this down low. So do you guys notice how on this one here, I kept that top of this stroke not much higher than the first ascender. It looks like if I bring that too high, it starts to look like an S or something, right? So just a little bit of troubleshooting on my own. And you kind of have to make those judgment calls. Like you have your standards, but then there's also, you know, you want to take a step back too and look at the readability of everything. Okay, so I'm looking in the chat. Hi guys. Okay. Oh, you want me to write Gurpreet? Okay. I thought your name was Raj. maybe you have two names, so we can do that. Let's do it here. Okay, let's go back to the other version. So here I'm not going to connect the uppercase to the next letter here. Okay. All right, let's do two more names. And let's do a little bit of a bounce lettering just because I forgot who asked yesterday. Let's see. Gwyneth. Okay. Ooh, that's going to be tricky. I don't know why I keep doing this G. Let's just keep it there. Okay. Cool. Oops. I hope that doesn't look, I think that looks too much like an R. This is supposed to be a W to a Y actually. But I'm just going to leave it. Hopefully you can still read it. But I would, if I was doing this for a final piece, I would have definitely have worked on this area here. Maybe when I have a tricky situation like this, sometimes I tend to bring this W up here, and then I actually don't connect it to my Y just to kind of keep them separate. Can you see that? Okay. And we'll do one more here. Ooh, Giovanni. That's a fun name. Okay. Let's see. What do we want to do? Ooh, I think that's a little bit too heavy. Is that too much? That might be too much. That's why we're practicing. Same thing with the double W's, Giova. I tend to break them up for readability, and I did not plan this well. We are just off the page. I'm going to do one more. Oh, there's a Giovanna. Okay. Let's do, okay, Gregory. Do that fun G again. And I am not even on the baseline. Okay. That is Shreese's attempt to be modern. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little demo at the end. It seems like I'm spending a lot of time on the name portion, but sometimes applying what you learn is more fun than the actual learning, right? But there is definitely a time and place for all of this studying. So I just want to point you to a few resources. You probably already saw the card for my basic stroke series to practice the capitals, and as I mentioned last night, I will be relaunching the lowercase basic stroke series soon. So I hope you'll be joining me for that in the next couple of months or weeks. And then I want to quickly drop this in, Dr. Joe's amazing copper plate booklet. It's basically an ebook. So I printed mine out and even put it in a binder, and he goes through all of the letters as well. So I take a lot from his teaching, and it's all a great community. I take a lot from the different resources and inspirations around me. And if you're interested in kind of like a resource guide, let me know, because I wanted to devote a video to that in the future. Just kind of like things that inspire me, where I've learned and everything. But otherwise, thank you guys for joining me for day 7. So tomorrow's day 8, letter H, and I will see you guys then. Be sure to catch me on Instagram when I do the call for names, or just catch me live here. It's super fun catching you guys live, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Remember that all of these replays will stay up, and I will catch you at the next one.